We are back. Nicole's behind the camera today. And welcome back, guys. I hope you guys are doing good. Hope you're not lonely out there. Sometimes in this COVID-19, you get kind of lonely with all this quarantining. I feel kind of lucky. I got all my kids and my wife, and we're hanging out. But I know as a student, sometimes it can be kind of lonely right now. So, hope you guys are doing good. If you need something, reach out to me. So what are we doing today? I want you guys right now to go to the assignment in Canvas and open up what's called the 5.6 packet. It's called Math 100B Module or Packet for 5.6. Module for 5.6, okay? So we'll go ahead and pretend pause if you need to pause. Oh, you're back, good. Hopefully you got that open because we're going to go over this packet. So if you don't have it open, pause it, again, get it out, and let's look at it. So before I talk to you about all the things in the packet, tonight's or today's assignment is super easy in the sense that you know everything. We're not going to learn anything new in our homework tonight. Tonight we're culminating and gathering all the things that we've learned into one. So you've learned all 5 factoring methods, and now we need to put it all together. So the first part of the assignment, and I keep walking over here because I have the laptop here. But the first part of your assignment, it says you're now familiar with all the methods of factoring. Now we need to identify what to do on a test using a holistic approach. Now the holistic approach is that cancer doctor thing we were talking about, where we approach every polynomial looking at all of our methods of factoring. So the first part of your assignment, there's 3 parts to your assignment. 1, 2, and 3, they're all numbered there. The first part is to make a visual chart. And so you're going to make a big old visual chart. Now the second page of your packet, if you'll note, it is a visual chart that you could make. You could make it on that, take a picture of that and send it in. If you don't want that header on there and you just want to do it on your own sheet of paper, that's totally fine. You can do that too, okay? You're going to have 6 boxes, okay? And I think if you really think about this, you know what you need to do. The first box, this box right here, it's going to be the 5 methods of factoring, okay? So we got pull out CF, this is what we've been talking about, you know, constantly. And then we have factoring by grouping. And then we have the x squared plus bx plus c method where a equals 1, the ax squared plus bx plus c method where a does not equal 1, and special cases. And then the type of polynomial that each of these is possible on. All, 4, 3, 3, and binomials. So these are our factoring methods. Factoring methods. And I'm kind of scribbling a lot like I do when I review with you guys, because you know this, it's in your notes, you've had it a bunch of times, and this is the type of poly that they're possible on, right? One more time, I'll ask you, does every polynomial have a common factor? Of course not, okay? Boys, does every girl say yes when you ask her out? Okay, and for those of you saying yes right now, your mom doesn't count, okay? That's it, all right? So check it out, man. No, of course. Everybody's been rejected, okay? Is every steak you ever buy good? No. But you got to give it a try, right? And that's what we're talking about with the common factor. Every polynomial has the potential, just like every girl has the potential to say yes. And every steak has the potential to be good, right? And every shot has the potential to be made in basketball. So you got to take it. You got to take your shots, right? And so we got to take a shot with every polynomial. We got to look for a common factor. And then the others, it's based on if you have 4 terms, 3 terms, and a binomial. This right here is box number 1. So what are the other 5 boxes? Okay, well, this is method 1, this is method 2, this is method 3, this is method 4, this is method 5. So this is to pull out the common factor method. Okay, and I'm not going to write all of these. This is the factoring by grouping method. Okay, this is the x squared plus bx plus c where a equals 1 method. And you're going to write the steps from each of these section notes that we got. The steps, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and write all the steps. And then you're going to have example. And you need at least 1 example, if not 2. A couple of examples would probably be good, especially and things like special cases here where you had a lot of little ones, or a couple of examples in the ax squared plus bx plus c method where a did not equal 1, and you saw some challenging things come up with that. Okay, again, I told you I wouldn't write them all, but hey, I did. Special cases. All right, but you need to go and you need to make this visual chart. So, pretty simple visual chart. You know what to do. I mean, it's not rocket science. Now we do have, I want you all to hear this, we do have a couple more sections that we're going to cover in this chapter, just one topic though, and we'll talk about how to deal with that when it comes to the visual chart. Right now, you need to make a factoring visual chart. And that's part 1 of your assignment, okay? So we explained it really well. So, just going back to this, Nicole, take a look. Take a look at the camera here. Let's see. Can we see this? Can we see it?
Maybe come closer. Yeah.
Okay, so you go to page 2, and there's that visual chart. Like I said, you could do your own page. We come up here, and there's 1, 2, 3 parts to the assignment. Okay? And so on number 1 there where it says make a factoring visual chart, it says 6 boxes, 1 holistic box. That's this box right here, which is all this. I just wrote what you have to write in there. And the other 5 boxes are the 5 methods, their steps and examples. So we've covered number 1. Number 2, okay, let's look at this real quick, all right? I want to show you this. Nicole, again, show me how we're looking on camera here. We start with this weird thing. Can you see that pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is part 2 of the assignment, okay, and it's basically taking section 5.6. So I want you guys right now, I want you to open up your textbook. I want you to go to page 440 with me. Page 440, this is section 5.6. So if you need to pause for a moment, I'm going to erase this. Okay, well, we're going to try to erase it. It seems to leave a little residue up here. Raised on residue. Okay, whoop. Nicole, are you giving the camera some looky-loos?
Yeah.
Woo! Okay, so what I want you to understand is in section 5.6, there's 78 problems. You're going to do 1 through 77 every other odd, and that's part 3 of the assignment. You know, so part 1 is the visual chart, but part 2, it's all these lines. It has like number 1, and it goes woo like this, and then it has number 3, woo, and it goes number 5, woo, you know, and number 7, woo, okay, and the sound effects are free. So check it out. Okay, we're skipping the evens. Okay, there's no sense in doing the evens. And what are we doing? We're going to do number 1 together. So on your assignment right now, we'll look at problem number 1. It is 3x squared minus 192. Okay, so 3x squared minus 192. Now you do not need to write this down, the actual problem in your notes. Nicole, check out the camera again. Are we all good on this, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So check it out. 3x squared minus 192 is in your book. You're not going to write this here. What you're doing is you're seeing what methods of factoring are possibilities. Okay? Well, we know every polynomial has the potential to have a common factor, so we're going to write method 1. Pull out the CF. Okay? This is also a binomial, and so we're going to say and method 2. Special case. Okay, and I apologize. I didn't give myself a lot of room here. Special case, and that's the difference of squares. And we could say the difference of squares. Now, I need everybody to listen to this. I'm not asking you to factor this yet. And we're not going to factor all these problems because we're going to actually do every other odd when it comes to the work. But on these lines, we're going to fill in every line. I want this to make sense to you. Okay? Part 3, when we do the factoring, you're doing every other odd. But part 2, you're going to fill in every one of these lines. You're going to do all the odds. And all we're doing is identifying what can we do. What is a possibility? Again, please listen because I don't want there to be confusion here. Does this have a common factor? You know, it does. This is divisible by 3. And remember, the sum of the digits makes something divisible by 3. 1 plus 9 is 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 is divisible by 3, so that number is divisible by 3. But here's the deal. It doesn't matter if it has a common factor or not, okay? Hey, I gotta loosen this tie like we do in class. It's just crazy. Okay, boo. Okay, check it out. Okay? it doesn't matter if it has a common factor, it has the potential to. So if you think about this, every one of these problems is going to be method 1, pull out CF. Method 1, pull out, method number 1, pull out CF, and on and on and on. Number 7, and then all the other numbers. Every one of these, you're going to write method 1, pull out the CF. And you can say, Brother Rich, this just seems like busy work. You're darn right. And I'll tell you why. Because we learn from repetition. And the number one thing that we forget when taking a test is to pull out the common factor and to check for it. And so I'm doing this to kind of drill it into your minds. Don't forget to check for a common factor. Because if you're wondering what to do on this next test, what's this whole fetching chapter been about? Factoring. Factor, factor, factor. We're dropping the F-bomb, right? Go home today, tell your roommates, hey, get factored. Okay, you mad at them? Tell them, get factored. Or say, factor you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this is like the F word in math. Okay, check it out. Okay, Nicole.
Hi.
What's up? Don't you tell me to get factored. I'll spank you. Okay, check it out. So, method 1, pull out the common factor. That's going to be for every single thing that you do on this, because it's always a possibility. Okay? But why method 2 special case? We don't know for sure if that's going to be a special case. Nicole, do 192 divided by 3 on a calculator. Okay? 192 divided by 3. Okay?
192 divided by 3 is 64.
X squared minus 64. Well, check it out. Is that a perfect square? 64. Abso-fetch-and-loopy. 8 times 8 is 64. So check it out. So when you factor this, you're going to say, square root of x squared is x, square root of 64 is 8. We're going to miss Hallie right now because she loves to sing this with us, and Nicole doesn't even know the song. Let's see if we can get her to sing it with us. Nicole, when I say go, we're going to sing, put it in a song, put it in a difference. You got to do it with me. Come on, don't leave me hanging. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Put it in a song, put it in a difference. You know, that's a pretty good daughter at 17 years of age that will sing that in front of the, or you know, at least behind the camera with me. Okay, check it out. That's the final answer to number 1, and that's what you're going to do in part 3 on a separate sheet of paper. But on the paper I provide for you, okay, you're just telling me what were possibilities. Again, please listen. Let's say this was 65. The answer up here would still be the same because we're not looking at doing the problem saying what worked. We're looking at examining the problem and saying, you know what? Everything could have a common factor. I write that down. Binomial could be a special case. It's subtraction, so it could be the difference of squares. So let's look at number 3. I'll tell you how to do number 3. We'll do these first few together. Number 3 is a squared plus 25 minus 10a. A squared plus 25 minus 10a. This is number 3. Okay? Now, are we doing number 3 in the actual homework? No, because we're doing every other odd. Okay? Did I do number 3 right? Yeah? Okay. Every other odd. So we're not going to do number 3, but we have to do it here. So we look at this and we say, hey, every problem could have a common factor, so we write that here. But listen, does it have a common factor? It does not. Look, no, A, divisible by 5, divisible by 5, not divisible by 5. But we still write it because we still have to look for it. The other thing is, it's a trinomial. Okay? Which trinomial method would be a possibility here? Is A equal to 1 or A not equal to 1? A is not equal to 1, right? No, A is 1. It's method 3. And so we'll write and method 3. And you'll write x squared plus bx plus c where a equals 1. And you're going to do that. Let's do number 5 together. Let's do number 5. You want to read number 5 to me, Coley? Okay, check it out. I got to erase something. Nicole is going to read this to me. So let's go ahead and erase number 1. Okay? Go ahead. Number 5.
Number 5. 2x squared minus 11x plus 12.
Okay, great. So in number 5 here, and if you look, I have done this one for you in your homework. I've already written the answer to it. And that's if somebody didn't watch this lecture and they're like, what do I do? I'm trying to help you out, okay? So number 5, we look at this, and again, method 1 is a possibility because it's always a possibility. And then method number 4, method 4. Why method 4? ax squared plus bx plus c where a does not equal 1. Okay, method 4. And it's because this is a trinomial, okay, trinomial method, but a does not equal 1 because a equals 2. Okay? I think you guys can handle this. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, I want you to notice as you scroll down on your page there in section 5.6, number 41. I gave the answer for you, so you're just going to get that point for free. And I don't want you to factor that. You'll notice in the assignment it says 1 through 77, every other odd, but do not do number 39 or 41. And so it says, don't do number 39 or number 41, okay? And it's just because they're just lame problems, okay? They're terrible. They're just going to confuse you, and they're just going to cause you a little bit of angst, okay? But you do number 39 on these lines, you'll be able to handle that. If it helps you, I'll tell you right now, it's factor by grouping, and that's it, all right? Okay, so what I want to do for you guys right now is this again. I want to reemphasize this. It's nice to have a short lecture today and not spend a whole bunch of time. You have to learn a whole bunch of new stuff. You know everything and how to do it in this section because we've learned all the methods of factoring. So finish this up, do 1 through 77, every other odd. So part 3, if you look on your handout, part 3, okay, and again, this handout is, attached to your assignment. Part 3 says, factor 5.6, 1 through 77, every other odd, in red, do not do number 39 or 41, use your own paper for this. And so you can take a picture of that. So there's 3 parts to the assignment. 1, make a visual chart. Take a picture of it, download it. 2, the lines. Identifying methods of factoring that will work. Okay, that have the potential to work. They might not actually work, but have the potential to work. And you're going to write all of that. Take a picture of that. Download that for the second assignment. Okay, because each one of these is a separate assignment. And then the third assignment is to actually, on your own piece of paper, factor completely 1 through 77, every other odd. I want to take a second here. If you need to pause, go for it. And I want to talk to you about the next portion of your assignment. So go ahead, Nicole, give us a pause. Oh no. Did you hit stop or are you good?
No, it's going.
Alright, cool. Alright, welcome back. So the second part of your assignment tonight, before I get into it, I want to ask you a quick question. How many of you have ever studied the priesthood or relief society lesson before church in preparation for that day's lesson, and you were not the teacher? Okay, raise your hand if you've ever done that before. Okay, I have. I've done this for years and asked classes this, and it's pretty phenomenal how few students actually have. And that's okay, but let me ask you this now. If you've done it, did you get a lot more out of it? Yeah, of course. The person who prepares gets the most out of it. And in other words, he who puts the most in, or she who puts the most in, gets the most out of it. In anything in life. That's just the way it is. I have not asked you all semester to read from the book and come to class prepared to discuss something, but this is the first time. And I'm actually not going to have you read out of your textbook. I've provided you a module from my own textbook, which is a story that we don't have time to tell. I guess you'll never hear it. Section 5.7 packet. And I've prepared it. It's all for you, and you need to read this in preparation for the next lecture, which is our final lecture on Friday. You need to understand something really clear. I'm going to teach you on Friday as if you already know some things. So if you don't read this and prepare, you're going to be behind. Please, I implore you, read ahead of time. When somebody gets up in church on Sunday and they give a talk and they say, of course we haven't been to church in a while, and you probably won't be for a little while, and they say, I got more out of this than any of you. That's what they're saying. I prepared. I spent hours doing this, and I got a lot out of this experience. And it's true. The person who gives the talk gets the most out of it. And so I need you to get the most out of what we do. Every class period this semester I've prepared, and I really probably get a lot out of it because I have prepared and put a lot into it. I want you to prepare and get all you can out of it. You guys have a good one, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. This is going to be our final lecture next time. Let me tell you this really quick, okay? Because of COVID-19 and everything that's going on, I'm just going to give everybody an A. April Fools. That sucks, man, doesn't it? It is April Fool's Day by the time you get this, and unless you wait and watch it later. But yeah, April Fools, April 1st. If you're from a foreign country and you don't know what April Fools is, you're all kinds of fetched up in the head right now. No, you only get what you earn in this class, so I can't give you all A's unless you earn it. So I'll give you an A if you earned it. Last thing, it's really hard not seeing you and being with you and interacting with you. I miss you guys. I'm sure you miss learning in the classroom just as much as I miss teaching you in the classroom and being able to interact with you. Hear your laughter, hear your questions, and respond to them. Please, again, come prepared to our next lecture by reading this packet. It will be our last lecture, and then part of that day, we will do our first half of the review for the final. So we will teach these concepts and give you an assignment. It'll be your last assignment on Friday, and then we'll begin preparing for the final, and then on Monday, our last lecture will be our final preparation for the final test. As you learned, in this section, we are just doing the Chapter 5 test when I refer to the final test. You guys have a good one. I'll see you next time.